it from my phone, and I'm just going to be sitting on camera. The last time I done one of these videos, I just sort of done like a voiceover, and I just popped the text up on the screen. So leave me a comment below and let me know, do you prefer this format, or do you prefer to see the text on the screen and just have like a voiceover without me in the actual video? Please let me know. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It would make my day. Okay, let's get into these stories. So the first story that I'm going to be reading is, Am I the a-hole for expecting my husband to replace my phone that he threw in the pool? Context: we've been married for 6 months and dated for 2.5 years. My husband, 31, hates when I'm talking to him while scrolling through my phone. I'm a multitask kind of person, so I could focus on doing 2 things at once, like checking my Instagram while listening to him. He'd pitch a hissy fit whenever he sees me with the phone in hand. Recently, he has given me an ultimatum, saying next time he sees me using my phone while talking to him, the phone would have to go. I thought that was kind of overboard, because it's not like I'm ignoring him when he's talking about serious stuff, but he just wants me to be 200% listening when he talks about a game or a past trip with his buddies. Friday, I was in the kitchen scrolling through my phone when he came and sat across from me. He told me to put the phone down. I asked why and whether he had something serious to talk about, but he said no, nothing serious, and reminded me of what he told me about the phone while talking role. I was like, psh, no. He got up, took it out of my hand, and rushed out while I yelled at him, asking where he was taking it. He got outside and threw it in the pool while I watched. I couldn't believe it. I started yelling WTF at him repeatedly. We got into a huge argument, and he decided to get in his car and leave to go to Starbucks. I was mad. I texted him that what he did was out of line and that I expect him to replace my phone as soon as possible. He responded saying he already set one reasonable rule and I violated it and disrespected him and his presence and time. He had another argument after he got home, and I kept insisting on having my phone replaced. He said that I made things get this far by refusing to listen and choosing to be disrespectful. Thankfully, I have an old phone I'm using for now, but my old phone was a tremendous loss because I paid for it and had work in it. Okay, so let's check out the comments. And the top comment is someone asking how old the OP is. I want to know this too. I suspect there is an age gap, and OP will be early 20s. Another commenter says, is she his wife or daughter? Rules. He gave her rules. And I have to agree with this. You don't give your significant other rules. That's something that you do for kids typically, not your spouse. So that's kind of weird. But like, I do kind of understand where the husband is coming from, because it is really annoying when you feel like you're not being heard or listened to. So I can see where he's coming from, but I feel like he just kind of lashed out is rude to be looking at your phone when someone is talking to you. I am not sure either of you are ready to be married. Yeah, I could see that too. Okay, let's move on to the next story. The next story is, am I the a-hole for throwing my stepson's Father's Day gift out of my house? Let me preface this by saying that I, 38 male, struggled with alcoholism for 3 years. It was the most difficult period of my life. I'm now 3 years sober and doing so much better with my life. I got married to my wife last year and have a stepson, 16 male, Jake. Jake and I aren't really close, but we have a cordial relationship. His dad's in the picture, so it's pretty clear that he never sees me as a dad. Jake has done a number of things in the past that caused us to fight, like getting into trouble and making me pay for damages, or damaging my own things and having me pay for them. He also constantly mocks my sobriety every chance he gets. Some issues got worked out with time, but the mocking is pretty much still there. I told my wife how this makes me feel, but got nowhere. Father's Day comes and my wife's family came over to celebrate with us. We had dinner and then Jake surprised me with a gift saying it was for me for Father's Day, which I thought was sweet, completely out of character for him to get me anything. However, from the way he was smug, smiling, I just didn't feel comfortable. Anyway, I opened it, and behold, there was a flask and a glass. Frankly, I felt like he just made fun of or mocked one of the biggest, most difficult struggles in my entire life. I froze. I didn't know what to say or how to act, since everyone was literally watching me. Jake was giggling hard, and that's when I got pissed. I put everything back, then grabbed the box and told him, "This doesn't belong in my house." Then I opened the door, walked up to the trash can, and threw the entire thing in there. My wife, her mother, and my stepson were at the door watching. Jake went downstairs, and my wife started arguing with me about what I did. We got into an argument. That's when her parents left. My wife got more upset, saying how I reacted was childish, and that Jake was just teasing me, and I should loosen up and stop being dramatic. I refused to get engaged any further, and now there's just so much tension in the house and silence from my in-laws. Am I the a-hole for how I handled it? The top comment is, not the a-hole. Your stepson knew what he was doing, and you weren't being dramatic. Giving a recovering alcoholic an alcohol gift is not only a horrible thing to do, but it can reintroduce the temptation. I think you acted just fine, but your stepson is an a-hole. Congrats on your 3 years sober. Yeah, I have to agree with that comment. Another comment says, not the a-hole, but your wife and stepson are the biggest a-holes. Sobriety is not a thing to mock. The son overstepped and mom supported him. Not the a-hole by any means. Considering the absolute audacity the stepson showed, you were relatively calm. Stepson is an a-hole, and so is your wife for allowing him to be an a-hole. She is enabling him to become a mean-spirited person. Some things are not meant to be joked about. that should be made fun of, just like these commenters are saying. So I have to agree with that. Another comment says, not the a-hole, but tell me why you are married again. Your wife allows her brat kid to mock your sobriety. This is not the normal family quarrel. This is serious. If your wife is so self-absorbed, you should really reconsidering this marriage. What she is bringing to the table, apart an awful kid that she does not parent, apparently. Not the a-hole. Doing something mean and calling it a joke doesn't make it suddenly not mean. At best, it's a bad, offensive accident, and at worst, it's this. Your stepson is a bully. Instead of protecting you from this bully, your wife is supporting him. If your stepson and wife are not willing to be allies and support for you in your sobriety, maybe they aren't the best people for you to be around. If she genuinely thinks her son's gift was an appropriate joke and not a mean, nasty prank, that is deeply concerning. Yes, I have to agree. Okay, our next story is, am I the a-hole for kicking my husband's friends out of the pool? I'm a working mom of 2. My husband has been struggling to find a job for 16 months. I don't know what's up with that. And so I've been solely paying for everything. As you know, it's summertime and the kids want to go to the beach every weekend. But I'm busy working oftentimes, and my husband won't bother take them unless he uses my car, which is a no from me because I need it for work. Anyway, so I put money towards renovating our old pool so the kids could use it. The thing is, once the pool was ready, my husband started inviting his friends to come over and use it for hours. They'd basically taken over, preventing the kids from enjoying it. They complained about being denied the pool several times, which caused them to get upset. So what I did was talk to my husband about it and told him to limit his friend's usage of the pool. He flipped out at me saying it's his house and water too, and I can't control what he does or who he brings. I got mad in return and told him that tomorrow the kids get the pool, or else I'll ban the friends completely. He side-eyed me and said, fine, they can have the pool tomorrow. Well, the next day my daughter calls me crying, saying Dad brought his friends over and refused to let her and her brother play in the pool. I was livid. I literally left work right then and went home. I saw him and his friends in the pool messing around. I just screamed my head off on them, telling them to get out. My husband tried to get involved, but I told him off and had all of his friends leave. He blew up at me for acting like a lunatic and said that I was being controlling and shameless. I said I already told him to let the kids play in the pool, yet he ignored my request. He yelled at me saying just because I paid to fix the pool doesn't mean that I own it. He went back inside and started calling his friends one by one to apologize on my behalf, since he said I was too shameless to do it myself. He then left the house and hasn't been back yet. Okay, I don't think that this lady is the a-hole. One, I don't really understand why the kids can't just play in the pool along with the dad and the friends. I don't really get that. I mean, especially to make this an everyday thing where they're to the point they're not allowed to use the pool at all. That's weird to me. I don't know. Let's see what the comments have to say. Okay, the top comment says, he left the house and hasn't been back yet. Good, good. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. It would be one thing if he enjoyed the pool with his pals now and then, but your husband has no job, and if he's loafing about in the pool this much that the kids can't use it, he's definitely an a-hole with a sniff of deadbeat about him. He's being an awful dad, too, by hogging the family pool. So the kids are literally crying for not being able to use it. What a total a-hole your spouse is. Tell him to get a job as soon as possible. Yeah, that's another thing. He's been unemployed for 16 months. Once your husband starts paying towards the house, he can have his playtime with his friends. Honestly, he sounds like the a-hole here, and I feel sorry for your kids. Yeah. Not the a-hole. Divorce him. You're already raising 2 kids. You don't need a third. Struggling to find a job for 16 months. Are you in the U.S. where jobs are plentiful, or is just that he can't find a job worthy of him? Why can't he work a minimum wage job until he finds something better? Why can't he use his car to take his kids to the beach? Why doesn't he see the kids as having a priority over his friends with respect to the pool? Yeah, exactly. What does he bring to the relationship?